Hello and welcome. We are on our 7th day of our Facebook Live series. That's not the name. The series is Money Fear is Real. How do you change it? And today we're going to talk about money truths and lies. This is going to be diving into our mindset. And this is going to be mindset in a way that you're probably not used to hearing about it. We're not doing the mamby-pamby up here fluff stuff. We are working on the source, which is the unconscious mind. And we're going to be delving in there because that's what is causing the mindset issues that are causing the programming that causes the money blocks that then dictates our behavior, our actions or inactions, and ultimately leads to our results or lack of results in life and business. So whether you're successful, whether you're not, whether your success is easy or not, things like that. So I want to start with, what is it that we believe? So what is a belief that you have? I'm sorry, I'm getting an awful glare in my lens. There we go. That's better. Not better. Hold on. 1 second. There we go. Lighting adjustment. Okay. So what is it that you believe about money? And just because you believe that about money does not mean that's true. I mean, it can be true, but it doesn't mean that it has to be true. So there are money myths and there are money truths. So the myths are the limiting beliefs, the limiting decisions and the false beliefs that go hand in hand with each other, as well as things like strategies, parts. So there's a part of us that wants to do something, there's a part of us that doesn't, and other types of what I call programming. So let's back up a little bit more. We're going to back up the bus so that we're going even more to the source. So how does our programming happen? And this is programming, whether it's mindset, body set, or heart set. But today we're focusing on mindset. So the programming happens from people around us, usually. So it starts off when we're young. We have our parents who are our whole world, basically. We rely on them for our safety, for our security, for our protection, and for meeting every one of our basic needs, pretty much, except breathing. We have to do the breathing on our own. And the pooping, we do that on our own. But other than that, we are reliant on our parents. And so as such, we would do anything possible to stay in their good graces so that they will continue to protect us and nurture us until we're able to do that on our own. And what that means on a deeper level is that we are a part of a community. It's a community of a family in this instance that we're talking about. And that means that people have different roles within the community. And so we rely on them to do their role so that we can do our role, or if we're a baby and we can't really do our role, we can just be ourselves as we're growing into being our own person and being our authentic selves. So when our parents go through their life, they have created money blocks for themselves. They've created false beliefs, limiting decisions, and other things that they believe about money, whether or not they're true or not. And their beliefs and decisions may have come from their parents, and so on and so on and so on. It can be very ancestral. In fact, oftentimes it is. So what happens is we adopt their beliefs and their decisions that they've made about money as our own, because we value them and we respect them, and they are our protectors. So they would definitely only be telling us things or modeling things for us that would be in our best interest. So we just accept that. Then as we age, we start to have different experiences of our own. And as we have those experiences, we draw our own conclusions. Welcome, Robin. And those conclusions then tend to be our beliefs and our limiting decisions as well. So those are ones that we've had direct experience from. Now, we may have drawn accurate conclusions or inaccurate conclusions, but in any event, we've drawn the conclusion because we think it's the best thing for us to do to keep us safe and to be protected so that we can continue living and have a life that we want to live. Now, we're going to go back to day 1 and day 2 where we were talking about the amygdala and the fight-flight response, where it takes in input from the senses, the 5 senses, to know if you're safe or not. And if it determines that you're not safe, then we go into this whole cascade of protection mechanisms and activate the fight-flight system of the sympathetic nervous system. So what happens? Let's just say, for example, we invested some money. Maybe we invested it in a business and things didn't work out so well. We could draw conclusions from that. We could draw a conclusion that, oh, it just wasn't the right time, or it wasn't the right opportunity, or I didn't know enough about what I was doing, or so-and-so did this, or so-and-so did that, or the market wasn't right. Like, there's a million different conclusions that we could draw, some of them being true and some of them being false. So that's one example. Another example of a money situation could be, okay, so you invested money in a stock. Let's say that. How did it go? If it went great, then we draw certain conclusions that it was great. And those conclusions may or may not be great either, or may or may not be true either, but we think they're true. And we are adopting them, like I said, for our own best interest. So another example might be loaning money to people. Whether it's a friend, a family, someone, then that person pays us back. How did they pay us back? Did they pay us back on time? Did they pay us back as agreed? There would be one set of experiences and conclusions we can draw from our experience from that. There's actually many different ones we could. Or maybe it would be something more negative, like they didn't pay it back. And so then a whole bunch of other factors get involved and conclusions can be drawn, like maybe that person doesn't like me, or did I do something wrong? Or maybe the conclusion is I can never lend money to someone I know because I'm going to get screwed. So I just want to give you guys some examples, real life examples of what can happen with your mindset about money. And those are based on practical experiences. Then there's the ones that come from our parents that we've been talking about, our parents' beliefs, values, and decisions that they've made about money. And those can be all over the board. And by the way, you're going to have a lot of fun if your father believes one thing about money and your mother believes another thing. That's the situation that I grew up in. 2 totally different belief systems, 2 different value systems. And so what we do is we just accept those as those are the truth. A big challenge comes when they believe 2 different things, and there is an internal conflict then for us. And that, of course, needs to be resolved in some way. So let's stick with some very concrete examples of beliefs. So the top 4 money blocks that people have, which are false beliefs, are, does anybody want to guess? You can go ahead and type in the comments what you think the top money blocks are for women. There's 4 of them as I've identified them from working with thousands of people. And I'm just going to come over here to my Facebook on my computer and see if anybody's typed anything in yet. Not yet. They are, drum roll please, the top 4 are: I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, fear of failure, and fear of success. The fear of success is the one that for a lot of people is a surprise once we discover that that is what's happening for them. So for example, fear of success shows up in ways, beliefs that are more like, well, if I'm not successful, I won't be able to be myself. I'll be even more overwhelmed. I'll have to work even harder. I'll have even more stress about money. I'll have to work with more people and I'll have to manage them, and I don't want to do that and I don't like to do that. Or another avenue that can take is, I'm going to be a target. If I have a lot of money, I'm going to be a target. Whether that's, Lisa says she has them all. Great, Lisa. And so maybe I'll be a target. If I'm wealthy, I'm going to be a target for many things, for people trying to use me, trying to hurt me, trying to maybe kidnap my children. That's a real one. Yeah, a lot of people don't think about that. Or I just won't be able to have my anonymity. I won't be able to be myself, or people are always going to be around me like the paparazzi are with the celebrities. So that's a lot about fear of success. Another one that pops up for fear of success is, I won't be healthy. I'm going to get a disease. I'm going to not sleep well. My nervous system won't be able to handle that. I'll just be stressed out about money all the time. So those are some beliefs there. Another belief that we just talked about, the fear of failure. Well, this one's usually a little more familiar for people. So fear of failure is, oh my gosh, what am I going to do if I invest all my time, my energy, my resources, my money, and I fail? I'm going to be worse off than I am right now in all those departments. I'm going to have lost the time, the money, the energy. Maybe I'm going to burn some friendships, or at least some relationships, even if they're business relationships. Or also to do with fear of failure is, well, the shame and the blame and the guilt that people can go along with. Or even sadness. Let's just go to the big dog on the block. Sadness. Sadness because you will have lost. You will have lost all those resources that you put in. You may have lost a part of yourself. Not really, but you think you do. Or you may have lost, we already talked about lost relationships, lost the business. Those are all very real fears. They're not necessarily the truth about what money is and what money can do for you. So let's go into not feeling worthy. So the last 2 are not feeling worthy and not feeling good enough. So not feeling worthy implies that you have to have done something to earn it, to earn whatever it is. We're talking about money right now. So I have to do something to some level, some criteria that I've put on myself in order for me to deem myself to be worthy of it. And then not feeling good enough is more like it's just that intrinsic value of who I am, me, whoever you are. I just don't have what it takes. Like I wasn't born with that. I don't have what it takes. God is not shining on me. It's just not my time. All of these different reasons can come up around that. And they seem really real, but they're not. They are actually lies. So what happens in reality is that you are born, just your birthright. In your birthright, you are born with the ability to be wealthy and the capability to be wealthy. There's nothing needs to be done to be earned to have that in terms of the right to have that. Yeah, there's going to probably be some work. So yeah, that will be involved for sure. And you have what you need in terms of the innate abilities to connect with money and to be able to form a partnership and to be able to have a relationship with money. A good relationship. Let's call it a hot, steamy relationship. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible for all of us. So what I'd love to do right now is to open it up to you lovely ladies who are here with me. And please share in the comments, what is your top 1 or 2 beliefs about money or decisions that you've made about money? I've given you some examples, but they come in thousands of flavors. Welcome, Debbie. So Debbie, right now we're just going to type in the comments, what is our top 1 or 2 beliefs or limiting decisions, false beliefs or limiting decisions that we have about money? And then we're going to talk about those. It's going to be really fun. I promise. So we're just waiting for those to come rolling in. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those doggies rolling. I'll talk about one big one while we're waiting. A lot of people confuse security with money, or they think money is security. So what happens is when we are young, we rely on our parents for security. We spoke a little bit about that earlier, but now we're gonna bring it home. We rely on them for security. So it's an external realization of our security is from someone else or something else. And when we're young, that is the truth. We have to rely on them. They have to take care of us. We are not capable. But then when we become adults, a funny thing happens. Many times what we do is we transfer our security into money. We equate money with security. And again, that's an external source of our security, which it's never good when you place your security outside of yourself. I shouldn't say never good. It's more optimal to have the security feeling come from within, because that's really where it's intended to come from. So when we place it outside of ourselves, then we place our power outside of ourselves too. So we've just given up a lot of our power and our ability to be able to get there. So what happens is with money, let me think how to say this. When it comes to security, yes, it's true that there's a certain amount of money that is required to pay the rent, to pay for food, to pay for our children's needs, to pay for our car and our insurance. There's a certain amount of that is needed. And to some degree, that does equate to some security. But I can tell you that security really comes from within. So let's take an example of myself, which is actually a little bit different than most people, but I want to share it with you because I think it'll spur some ideas for you. So when I grew up, I placed a lot of value of security with money. And by the way, women's number one top value is security. It's not anything else. We might think it's something else, but it's really not. For men, the difference is their top value is significance. Okay, so now back to the story. So as I went into corporate America, I was making a lot of money. I was a corporate executive at the age of 33 running billion-dollar programs. Like, I was the bomb, man. And my goal was to be CEO and to be a millionaire by the time I was 40. So I was well on my way. And what I did, though, is I drove myself into the ground because I kept thinking, my belief was, I only need to make this much more money and then I can feel safe. Then I can feel secure. And so I'd make that much money and then I'd go, well, you know what? I really don't feel safe yet. I got to make this much money. And then I'd reach that bar and then still the safety feeling didn't come. And so I just kept ratcheting it up. So when the rubber met the road and in my early 30s, I was getting an ulcer and I couldn't sleep. I was having panic attacks and I was just stressed. I actually broke a tooth from clenching my jaws so tightly. My nervous system and my intuition started to tell me, you know what, there's a better way for you. So I didn't actually learn about the security or how to disconnect that type of association of that belief with security until later. Okay, so we have some comments. Yay. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so Debbie's saying, because I am not affluent, I feel like a failure when dealing with people who have a lot of money. Okay, that's her top belief. All right, thank you for sharing that. That takes a lot of courage to share something like that. And then Lisa's saying, it brought up a lot of emotions, and now I feel so overwhelmed, I somehow feel I don't have value. Yes, I hear you, Lisa. It's when we place our value in money also, like our personal value in money, that's where we have glitches too. And that's a definite money block. And that is a false belief that we have, that our value is tied to our money. Because we are valuable in and of our birthright. And we are more valuable than money can ever know. And if you ever doubt that, just think about someone who may have passed away and how much money you would have paid to have them back. It's making me cry just thinking about it. That's an extreme example, but that's what came up. Okay, and Debbie's saying that yesterday I spoke about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Oh yeah, that was a good one. A minimal amount of money, particularly in the modern world, is required for survival. Absolutely. On the other hand, affluence is really anything more than a secure roof over one's head, enough food, basic health, everything else is gravy. Yeah, that's right. It's gravy. And there is a very interesting interview that Bill Gates gave. I can't remember who it was with, but I do have the quote somewhere in my computer. I'm going to say it the best I can. But somebody asked him about his lifestyle, and he makes so much money. Like, what are you going to do with all your money? Or what do you do with all your money? And he said that beyond a certain level of meeting basic needs with his money, now his basic needs might be a little higher than us because he has like a, I don't know, $100 million mansion in Seattle, but whatever it is for him or for us, beyond a certain level, money has absolutely zero value to him personally. The value of the money is in its ability to help other people who need it. And that's when he started the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And their mission, holy Toledo, is to end poverty and to end a lot of diseases. So that's a pretty big mission. So you're absolutely right. And when you're talking, Debbie, about everything else is gravy, it is. And why do women want money? The 4 reasons why they want money, actually 3 reasons why they want money, is 1 is to spend more time with loved ones, which includes themselves, me time, self-care time. The other second one is traveling. And why do they want to travel? Because they want to connect with other people. They want to learn other cultures. They want to experience other ways and other people. And the third one is to give it back. So there you go. That falls right in line with our value of security. So once we are at a certain level on our basic needs being met, having security from within, having our needs met, doing whatever wonderful things we want to do with our money, beyond that, we really want to help people. Like, we want to help other people. We want to make their lives better. Glitches can come, I'm just going to say, when we have, oh my God, I just lost my thought. Glitches, okay, we were talking about giving it away. Yeah, glitches can come when we give money away or give of our time or our service to such a degree that we are sacrificing ourselves and sacrificing our needs. That's when glitches and problems come. The idea here is we need to stabilize ourselves. We need to heal ourselves to whatever level we need. We need to eradicate these money blocks and this programming, these beliefs and limiting decisions. We need to change all of that at its core. And then once that changes, anything's possible. And it's such a great place to be. And money becomes easy. And money comes to us from all different places and sources. Some of them we had noticed before, but we just weren't in a place to accept and receive it, or even really acknowledge it. And then other times it just comes from other unknown sources, previously unknown sources. People will show up at your doorstep and say, hey, here's an opportunity. Hey, I want to give you some money to do this. I want to give you a resource to do that. Oh, can you help me with this? Whatever it is, it comes in so many different forms. So, oh, good. We have a lot of comments rolling in. This is great. So Debbie's saying, when I try or am asked to do actions, take work that is not aligned with my values, I usually fail, feel uncomfortable, and or find my worst habits kicking in. That's right. That's your amygdala. That pesky amygdala. It's always looking out for you. It's always going, am I safe or am I not? And when you're going against your values, that's a different form of not being safe. Because the reasons you value things is because it's a part of you. So when you're going against who you really are, procrastination can kick in, as well as uncomfortable feelings and habits kicking in. Yep. I bet you get a lot of house cleaning done then too. That used to be my hobby. Or not my hobby. My procrastination strategy style was to clean. Oh my God. I would clean and I would organize. And then I'd run out of things to clean and organize, and I'd still be sitting there going, I'm still avoiding that thing that I really needed to get done 2 hours ago. And procrastination is also something that we call a strategy, which strategy is a process of how we do things. It's predefined steps. It's another form of a program we have. And we will do it in the same sequence, in the same order, and have the same results every time. That's actually going to be a topic coming up. Maybe we'll do that one tomorrow. Let's think about that. But what's needed then is a shift in the strategy, which is a shift in the unconscious mind that is holding that strategy and delivering that to us every time. It's as if, when the doctor clicks your knee and then your leg goes boom. That's how strategies work. Oh, a stimulus comes in, boom, I'm running that program. That's just the way we always do it, and that's it. It's totally unconscious. You couldn't really stop it consciously, but you can change it unconsciously. It's really cool. So we have strategies for procrastination. We have them for buying, for love, for career, for money, for spirituality. Like there's all different kinds. There's probably thousands of them. And within each one of those categories, there's different levels. So I don't want to go too deep into strategies now because we're going to have a separate session on that. Okay. Debbie's saying, money does not make people happy, but it sure can buy a lot of comfort and choice. Well, that's for sure. It sure can. You can enjoy those benefits of having money. You know, for example, my dad grew up in the Depression, and he has such defined strategies and beliefs about money that even though he has money now, he doesn't even allow himself to believe that he has it, even though he does. He's retired, but he still has a nice, income coming in, and his medical benefits are covered by the Veterans Association. But we used to buy him clothes for Christmas, and then we realized he never wore them because he likes to wear his uniform. Like he has like one shirt, not one shirt, but one style of shirt. It's made by Dickies, the work outfits, or not outfits, but uniforms, Dickies, very durable material. It's going to last forever. He has a shirt and he has pants, and he has like 4 or 5 of those. That's all he wears. He has one belt. That's all he does. He has a couple pair of shoes, but he really favors one pair. And you ask him, hey, Dad, can we get you another belt? Can we, get you another pair of shoes? I don't need them. That's how he says it. I don't need them. In fact, today we were on our daily nature walk, and he was commenting about his clothes. He said, people don't understand about me and my clothes. And I'm like, well, what do they not understand? He goes, these things last forever. They're great. They're fabulous. He says, I can't even wear these things out. Like, they just keep going. I've had this one for 20 years. And it still looks like it's in good shape. But I share that with you because that's one way of thinking. So let's see. I wish cleaning and organizing were my avoidance strategies. Way to go, Debbie. Great. And Debbie's feeling great. Debbie was having a little challenge earlier. Something had flared up for her. She used the techniques that we've used in this series, and she's feeling so much better. So I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, Lisa's saying, I'm tired of not making it. Yes. Yes and yes. I hear you, Lisa. That's right. And what does making it mean? It means different things to different people. For some, it might mean, having the ability to be self-sufficient, to be able to take care of your needs and maybe the needs of your children. Making it for other people could be, I have a house in the Hamptons. I have a Rolls Royce, or I have 2 cars. I have my sports car and I have this car. Or making it could be, I finally have enough money that I feel comfortable to give it away. My new tagline for my business is, I empower women to become wealthy so they can give it away, so they can give more, like J.K. Rowling, Melinda Gates, and Mother Teresa. And the reason I chose that is because that's really what the shift is in the mind, is I'm wealthy enough that I can do these things. And I'm in a good place. I'm stable. I had put my oxygen mask on first, which, by the way, is key. It's not just for airlines. It's for our real life every day. So the thing about an oxygen mask is, though, you get the oxygen mask, you still have to breathe. The mask doesn't breathe itself. You must breathe, which means you still must do some things. But the key is put it on, do the breathing, and then good things are going to happen. Wonderful. Oh, welcome, Robert. Thanks for joining us. Does anybody have any more comments that they would like to make? Anything else they want to share? What's going on with them? So as we're waiting for that, any more comments to come in, I just want to say that to change these beliefs is not a matter of just saying an affirmation of whatever it is. Like, for example, one affirmation I used to say, which is horsepucky, and it never worked. I didn't know it wouldn't work. But I would say, I'm wealthy. I have $1 million. I'm helping this many people. Well, that's not going to change anything, because in the background, this program is running. It's like your operating system of your computer. Just because you change, from Safari to Google or to Firefox, your computer's still running that same program. It's just what's piled on top of that program. And your unconscious mind is running like this. This is what it does. It will repeat itself like that over and over and over again, because that is the program. So when new stuff comes in, like you come in here with this affirmation or this positive thinking, or heaven forbid you're trying to willpower and brute force yourself into something, it's going to bump up against that and go away. It's going to go, no, that's not what we believe. That's not who we are. This is who we are in here. And you can't do that. And by the way, your mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So most of the time, it's focused on this program. But when you come in with one of these affirmations, and it just kind of pings it, and you're like, oh, okay. And you can say the affirmation 10 times. Okay, for those 10 times you're saying it, yeah, okay. You're not going to be thinking the other program or doing the other program, but you are. As soon as you let that go out of your mind, boom, you're back to the old program. So the change must happen there. And the change happens with techniques like timeline techniques, like parts integration, strategy shifts. One of them was the anxiety model that we did, which is a timeline model. I'm talking about just mindset today, but they do also, there's some changes required in the body set and the heart set. So as we go through this series, we're going to continue and do more work with those types of techniques. So let's see, do we have any other ones? No other comments. So we're going to end it here today. And tomorrow, let's talk about strategies. That's going to be fantastic. Strategy, again, is the process of how you do things. It's another portion of your programming. So I want to thank you all for being here. It has been a pure joy. And if you need anything that you feel like I can help you with, please reach out to me. I would love to help you, especially in this time of need. And if you want to identify your personal flavor of money blocks, you can go to mymoneyblocks.com. So mymoneyblocks.com, and there's a quiz there. It takes about 2 minutes, and you take it, just answer the questions on a scale, and then it's going to send you an email, and it will give you a summary of where you are with your money blocks. So thank you, and we'll talk to you soon. See you tomorrow. It's going to be at 4 o'clock now, every day, 4 o'clock. All right, take care. Bye-bye.